Hello. How many of you believe in global warming? Well, I do. Today I will argue that global warming is real, presenting historical evidence, physical evidence, and eyewitnesses evidence. Looking back to the history of the Earth, it has experienced several changes. Climate has been one of the major factors that has greatly impacted Earth. The history of climate change science starts in the early 19th century, when ice ages and other natural changes in the climate were first suspected, and the natural greenhouse effect was first identified. In 1990, scientific research on climate change has included multiple disciplines and has expanded during this period, has been summarized in the assessment reports about global warming. In 1950, the scientific report high temperatures. In 1952, the scientists reported in the newspaper as a climate change. Not until 1986, climate scientist by name James Hansen gave a testimony to the Congress on global warming. In recent years, global warming and climate change have been the subject, but as the science becomes clearer and consensus grows, it's impossible to ignore that the global warming is real. The evidence of rising temperatures is perceived and is shrinking. Thermometer records keep over the past century, and half of them show Earth's temperature has raised more than 1 degree Fahrenheit and about twice that in parts of the Arctic. That doesn't mean temperatures haven't fluctuated among regions on the globe or between seasons and times of the day. But by analyzing average temperatures all over the world, scientists have demonstrated an unmistakable upward trend. This trend is part of the climate change, which many people consider synonymous with a global warming. Also, scientists prove that climate change encompasses not only rising average temperatures, but also extreme weather events, wildfire population and habits, rising sea oceans, and a range of other impacts. All of these changes are emerging as humans continue to add heat, trapping greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. Also, there is a record from 1,000 years back that helped to figure out what temperatures were like in the distant past. A good example is trees store information, where it shows that each 3 years a tree grows thicker and forms new rings. In warm and water years, the rings are thicker. So that means that all trees and wood can tell you about conditions hundreds or even thousands of years ago. There is another story where the scientists found that windows on the past are also buried in lakes and oceans. Pollen particles and dead creatures fall to the bottom of the oceans and lake each year, forming sediments. So the scientists reveal this record by inserting hollow tubes in the mud to collect layers of sediments, and that means they were going back millions of years. There is several evidence and eyewitnesses that have been found that global warming is real, and how much of the sun's energy reaches Earth's surface and how much of that energy gets absorbed. This is something that is happening now and is affecting the lives of people around the world. And I want to mention that I read an article and it says that there is 1,000 leading climate scientists from around the world that they are been working on global warming, and they've been showing that global warming is real, and also they have joined the panel, which it means that they haven't seen how the climate is changing. They also have pictures. There is a newspaper that has the copy of the pictures. So I feel like there is a lot stuff that proves that global warming is real. Today, you have seen historical evidence, physical evidence, and eyewitnesses' testimony, all of which adds up that global warming exists. Thank you for listening.